Welcome back to the Thunderdome. Rang, rang. This is like a fucking horror film.
So many
I know
ways.
what you did last summer, Stu. Is that Drew Barrymore? If it's Drew Barrymore, I'd like to talk to her.
It's weird that you just said Drew Barrymore. You'll see.
People are going to think the wrong thing, which is that we rehearsed this and that I have some semblance of what's going on. I don't.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Hey, I'm Stu. She's Emily. We're doing a show, and let me tell you, I have never on this show had a host tell me to masturbate. And I just want to say that I listened to that last week, and really I bring it up to, I want to say good for you, because I've been listening to previous shows because I have a project going on that I'll tell you about in coming weeks. And I've decided that the last year and a half is basically just you and me going, can I get away with saying that on the air? And then we say it. So that's kind of a new milestone when you bring that up. Hello, how are you?
I'm so great.
Yeah.
Two things on that. One, I'm intrigued to know about this new project. And two, I find it very hard to believe that nobody except me has told you to go fuck yourself.
It's never come up. It just never really has. Not on the air. Sure, it's come up off the air. Often in text that's happened. So, it works out how it works out.
It works out.
And I'll tell you right now that we're going to take a couple weeks off during the summer. You want to take a week off. I need to take the week after that off. So I'm thinking rather than cram shows in to record ahead of time, that's a lot of stress. That's a lot to do. Rather than not do shows, I'm going to construct Total Babble Roulette. I'm going to get a bunch of good episodes from the past year because we've done really good things that I go back and they make me laugh. And I'm just going to randomly throw them in there, and however it comes out, and I'm finding very good things. There's the one, I don't know if you remember this show. Do you remember the time we were literally crying on the air?
Maybe. I feel like it's happened a couple of times.
Yeah. There was one really cool moment. One of my favorite podcast moments ever, any show. It's like, wow, that was a really cool, genuine moment. I'll tell you, that's in there when we take a little vacation in July. So,
oh, I can't wait to listen. It's going to be so great.
So working on that, and I had a big weekend. I put on a bear suit and went out into the woods and tried to pick up on chicks. It was pretty effective.
Oh, do tell.
It's like a big furry fest. That's all. I'm just saying. Because if you have the bear suit on, women are much more receptive, I've found. In the woods.
Yeah, in the woods.
Yeah.
I feel like sort of at Mardi Gras, maybe. But in the woods, not weird?
Well, I'm just referring to that thing, would you rather be alone with a man or a bear in the woods, for people that don't know. And... it's kind of an in-grounds to meeting women. If you're wearing the bear suit, it goes that much better. Ooh, new thing. We'll have single bars in the woods, and we can work it out that way. Just take it the next step further.
I mean, what's not to love about that? I feel like the bear suit, though, in the summer is a bold choice. Bold.
Yeah, it's commitment.
Yeah, it takes some work.
The thing that I don't get about the thing with really wanting to be with a bear rather than a man because men are threatening, I get the point, but there's also the percentage aspect. Not that many men are going to assault you, and there's a higher percentage of bears that are going to attack you, and that's the part that I don't get. I almost feel like, yes, women are making a point, but they're not logically making a point because of that.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I feel like you're statistically less likely to encounter a bear in the woods, especially if it's like what are they, black bears, brown bears, not a grizzly, than a man on a hiking trail.
But the scenario is, which would you rather be alone with? And there's one or the other that you're alone with in the woods. And I'm just saying, there's a man there, you're less likely to get attacked. There's a bear there, they're more likely to get attacked. That's kind of a way to look at it. I'm just thinking it out, This has gone weeks now, but I'm still thinking it out.
Still thinking about it. I know we talked about it a lot on the show. Do you know what I've been thinking about a lot? People who reenact the Confederacy.
Oh, those are crazy people.
Those Civil War reenactors.
Yeah.
I saw some the other day because I live in the South, and I was thinking to myself, could you imagine if Germany had World War II reenactors? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you just fucking imagine?
Wouldn't go well.
No. In fact, it is against the law in Germany to possess sort of Nazi paraphernalia and that kind of thing. Or if the French just reenacted everything they've ever lost. It defies logic. Please, Stu, make it make sense.
There's no way to do that. It doesn't. It's weird. And really, Civil War reenactors and cosplay people, they're the same people. They're just into different things. And maybe we should have the Civil War reenactors battle the cosplay people. That would be entertaining. That would be something I would watch.
Oh, man. I have to stand up for the cosplayers. I feel like the cosplayers are way different to people who are pretending to be Confederate soldiers in the war that we lost, where we were all trying to decide if slavery was okay or not.
They're not bad people. They're just both really extremely into something. And anybody that is really extremely into something, nerd.
Yeah, I want to meet LARPers, live action role playing.
Yeah. The same thing. That to me, that's cosplay.
Yeah, really similar type thing. But I love how wholesome it is that they're into that. Just like, and some of them are so incredibly talented. Have you seen the costumes, the makeup, the everything they do? Like, they're really committed to it. I wish that I was even half as committed to anything in my life as those people are committed to looking like whatever character they're trying to embody.
It says talent, but I think it also says talented and focused on that. And this is me being judgy, I wouldn't picture them as being well-rounded people. I picture them as being very fixated on that thing, whether you're talking about the anime people or the Civil War people, either one. It's like, why? And who am I to say, really? I mean, I'm into my stuff. I just feel like I'm not that fixated on any one thing.
Fair enough.
All right. This is just a random fun thing. Will Ferrall, have you heard about the important stance that he is taking?
Can't say that I have, Stu.
Okay, well, he's been making the rounds. He was apparently at some ceremony, and People Magazine has a thing coming up, and this is Will Ferrall being interviewed by Sierra Mist, or whatever her name is, on Good Morning America or some show, I don't know.
You have announced at the premiere, actually, that you are campaigning to be People's new sexiest man alive.
I am, and I read one of my press clippings that said I was Will Ferrall jokes.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. This
Why
is serious
have you been?
business.
Why do you think you've been overlooked?
I have no idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
But it's time, don't you? I mean.
Yeah, you were saying you didn't think they had comedians.
They never have comedians.
Never.
Can you think of one?
Actually,
I can't.
Well, Paul Rudd. I think we have the cover.
Oh,
so
maybe.
he was. So.
But look, I mean, Paul's funny, but not there.
Okay. Well, I think.
Look at that. I mean, he's dreamy.
I know. He's the smoke show.
Wow. Yeah. So I want it. I've never wanted it. I've never wanted anything more badly than Sexiest Man Alive.
Well, you have my vote.
So I just think that's fun and something that I wanted to bring up. And if you were People Magazine, you have such a huge opportunity to do something with that. What do you do with that? Do you make him the sexiest man alive? Do you do an honorable mention? What do you think you do with that?
Well, I think that we have a precedent. Do you know who Jeremy Clarkson is?
No. Oh, wait, is he an English car driver guy?
Correct.
Oh, I feel so good about myself.
Okay, go you. So Jeremy Clarkson is one of the 3 hosts of Top Gear. So he's a presenter turned farmer. He also now has a show called Clarkson's Farm. Giving it a shout out. It's brilliant. We watch it. But he has been voted UK's sexiest man 2 years in a row. Now you need to look at this man.
I'm picturing him in my head, and if it's the guy I'm thinking of, isn't he kind of a big guy? Big old guy? Old big
Correct.
guy? Okay.
Correct.
He's that old guy that I'm thinking of.
That is exactly.
Okay, now
who you're
I'm
imagining.
trying to be even in my judgment here. Yeah, that guy. She just showed me the picture. I'm just going to say, I'm not trying to be a dick. I think I'm more attractive than that guy. Like, I look at that and I'm like, I'm no guy that every woman needs, but I look at that guy and I think I'm doing better than that guy at least. Shaved head can be a little bit sexy. That guy, I don't know.
I don't know why he's been voted sexiest man alive. I have absolutely.
At the very least, the UK needs to make Will Ferrall more sexy than that guy.
Well, here are the names of some of the people that he beat for this title.
That's UK though, right?
Right, but Idris Elba is British.
People love that guy.
Well, it's Cillian Murphy. He's from the United Kingdom, not British. But yeah, I think maybe what it is that he's witty, he's funny, and it's not just looks and body, and I think that they're trying to make a statement, right? He's also incredibly fucking rich.
Right.
So there's that. Not generally my thing, but he's tall as well.
Well, it's kind of like Sports Illustrated putting Martha Stewart on the cover for the swimsuit issue and putting large women on the cover for the swimsuit issue. It's kind of like, oh, look at how inclusive we are. Like, I don't think that they're bad people, but that it's not the traditional idea of beauty. And if you're doing it to be sincere in it, great, but it's just them showing, oh, look at how great we are as a company. It's like Gay Pride Month, how every company in the world shows how rainbow they are.
Potentially. Exactly. I do think, though, that there are women who are older who are incredibly beautiful.
You're leading me right into my next thing coming off of this.
Am I? Is this?
Yeah.
Is this where you start talking about Kate Beckinsale?
Kate Beckinsale is not quite old lady. She's on her way to old lady, but she's top two. Kate Beckinsale, Margot Robbie, Kate Beckinsale's getting up there, and literally a genius. She's been certified a genius. She's a Mensa chick. But I'm also thinking of this.
She's also 50, by the way.
Yeah, that's on the way to old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also old lady, and I have a struggle of conscience with this. This is my next thing that came out of the Will Ferrall because I thought of this, and she's been in the news a little bit. Drea de Mateo from The Sopranos. She's like 52, and I found out this week she's now doing OnlyFans, and I feel a little bit conflicted on that because I don't know how to handle that. I'm not a prude. I'll look at porn. I don't care. You have a problem with it. I don't. I've, for the longest time, said to myself, oh, Drea de Mateo, I'd like to see her with no clothes on. If she's doing stuff in it, that's fine. And now I have the struggle of conscience of, do I pay for OnlyFans to look at Drea de Mateo? I have this kind of line that I've not wanted to cross because to me, I would never pay for porn. To me, nobody pays for porn. To me, the point of paying for porn is really stupid. You don't have to. And also, it's a particular line of ick that I haven't wanted to cross as a person. To me, if you're paying for porn, that's like, you're a certain level of perv, you know? So now I have a struggle of, hey, would like to see Drea de Mateo doing stuff, but I don't know the kind of stuff that she's doing. I'd like to find that out. And also, I don't want to have to pay for OnlyFans because yuck.
What about if you reframed it? One, if you're watching porn.
I thought you were talking about in the window, like if I put it in a certain window and put it on one side. No, you're talking about a different thought reframing. Okay.
Exactly.
Because I was going to try the other
mentally
thing.
Reframe it, which is if you're watching porn and you're not paying for it, the person who produced that piece of content isn't getting recognized or paid or anything. They probably got paid at first when they did it, or maybe not, or whatever. But if you're going to watch porn, why not pay the person? They've obviously consented to it. You know that it's okay with them. The money's going directly to them. And you've got like an agreement going on between you. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of porn. But
well,
I
you're
think
a prude.
that I am a prude. Yes, but I do think that one of the benefits of OnlyFans is that people are in control of what they want to do. They're in control of the type of content that they produce. The audience can choose, and it's a contract between them. I'm sure there are some people being exploited, but in the instance of that woman, she's a celebrity in her own right. Why not?
Yeah, I have a struggle with it because to me, it is the perv line. Like, oh, now you're a guy paying for porn. I don't want to do that. And then she came out with a statement recently. It was in the news. She was talking about doing it or something. But she said, at 52, I decided I'm a hot lady. I'm going to do this. And I'm making more money doing this than I ever did in acting, making more money than I ever did on The Sopranos. And I'm like, okay, good for you. But then I thought, okay, she obviously got to this because she's not getting the roles that she wants, maybe because she's been typecast, and that is a shitty thing. And then I feel like, okay, if I give into this and pay for Drea de Mateo on OnlyFans, am I kind of supporting that aspect of things? Like maybe if you don't support her, maybe she keeps trying to do acting and maybe that's better for her and maybe I shouldn't do that. There's all kinds of just stupid thoughts I have on this.
What's the difference between paying her $5.95 or buying Penthouse or Playboy or Sports Illustrated, which are probably more expensive than that?
I don't know, but I would never go out and buy a magazine either. There's the convenience of the free porn aspect in this too. When I decide I'm going to be honest about it, there's the convenience and the perv of now I'm the guy paying for it. Those are lines and things that I don't want to cross and deal with.
Interesting.
Drea de Mateo. And then she was palling around with Gina Gershon. Do you know Gina Gershon?
Yes.
Do you ever see Bound?
No.
Oh, God. All right. So people, you can check out Bound. They aren't in that together. But Gina Gershon and Bound, that is like the other great old lady. Gina Gershon is like 80 years old, I think. Hang on. Hey, Siri, how old is Gina Gershon?
Gina Gershon is 62 years old.
60, goddamn. She's 10 years older than the Drea de Mateo. I'm sorry to make this a dude perv moment, but it's just the thoughts that I have, and I thought I would bring it up.
No worries.
Do you have a female perv moment you would like to bring up? Anything on that end that you're having struggle with?
I don't struggle with it. Jake Gyllenhaal is very attractive, and I don't struggle with that at all.
All right. Yeah. Would you see? Here's the difference. If he was doing stuff on OnlyFans, would you want to see? No, because you're a woman, and because there's a difference there.
Not interested.
Yeah.
Not interested.
What is that difference? Why are dudes so dude and women so women?
That is a big question and one that I cannot answer. I can just answer it from my own perspective, which is I think that he's great to look at, and I think that if I actually saw him naked, I would find him less attractive.
And that's weird. How can that be?
I don't know.
Like, you obviously don't feel that way about your husband.
No.
Right. So is it because maybe this is nature and psychological woman binding? Maybe it's because you're in a committed thing with your husband, and maybe that's where the focus lies, and that's why you think that way.
I mean, potentially. But I think there's a huge difference between actually getting naked with Jake Gyllenhaal versus watching him be naked but not being involved in it. It's like it's a weird thing. I don't understand the appeal of it. But again, I'm a strange duck.
I don't understand the hall pass thing that people in relationships have. Oh, if I ever met that celebrity, I have an okay that I could sleep with them. Shut up. Just stop it. Don't be dumb.
Do you know, if my husband tried to do the whole hall pass thing, and he gave me one, I'd give him one. Like, I'd say something really weird, like our neighbor Robert, or your best friend Taylor.
Think about that when you're off running drugs in another country, huh? Have that thought.
Exactly. You want a hall pass with Kate Beckinsale? Fucking done. I'm going to take the guy who lives across the street. Because I just think that it's so fucking stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah,
like there's
it really is.
There's no hall passes. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And then another judgment, and this was a thing that I thought of that just came up when you said Kate Beckinsale again. I saw a picture of some guy on the internet, somebody that I would judge, my judgment, as like a total nerd, total comic book nerd type. He's in this picture with Kate Beckinsale taking a picture. It's obviously at some kind of convention or something. Maybe she put on those hot leather things that she wears and went to the thing, but not in that picture. And she obviously got paid to stand there with him and take a picture with him. And she almost has the look on her face like, I'm standing here getting paid to take a picture with this guy. As a dude with pride, I would be embarrassed to post that. I would be like, yes, I'm paying women to stand here with me. I'm paying Kate Beckinsale to stand here with me. That's why I never really liked autographs or taking pictures with celebrities or any of that kind of thing. To me, it's like a forced thing. And it's like, why would you even care? And why would you want to show that to people?
Yeah, I can sense that. I have an aversion to ever approaching a celebrity.
Right.
Nah, won't happen. Not interested. Just fucking leave them alone.
If it's an event where they're there to talk and meet and do whatever, I'm fine approaching them. But I would never go up and ask for an autograph. To me, that's just like, oh, hi, I'm such a fan. And it puts you in a different light and a different place. You can go up and just be a regular person and say, hey, how's it going? And maybe that leads to something, and then that's cool. But to me, hey, take a picture with me and give me an autograph is just so weird and makes you seem like such a strange person.
Yeah, I like the idea of a meet and greet. I think meeting someone is great. And then there's something about being immersed in that moment and sharing an experience with someone and not cheapening it by trying to take a photo of it or that kind of thing. I think, if you could just have that moment and then share it, that would make it more special, I feel, anyway.
Right. And it used to be less of a thing before they monetized it. It used to be before they started selling these packages to concert events where you pay $2,000 to stand there with Nikki Sixx, that they would do meet and greets anyway. And then it was record people and you could go and talk and do whatever. And it was less weird. Now that you're paying somebody to stand there with you, there's much more of a thing of, okay, let's get this done. You're a fan. I get it. And that's just yuck. They're just people and it makes it weird. It's almost
I agree.
It's like prostitution without the sex.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
So tomorrow is National Secure Your Load Day. I secure my load. Do you secure your load?
Absolutely, every time. Safety first.
It is important to secure your load, but these bridal people did not do that. Here is the news story.
Now a story that proves you shouldn't do anything dangerous the day before your wedding. This bride-to-be was transporting a mattress, but instead of tying it down, she laid on top of it in the back of her pickup truck.
Off. Is she dead? Because she fucking should be.
No.
She's just about to get married. That bitch should have removed herself from the fucking gene pool.
Strong reaction from Emily.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. I'm the critical one.
Not on this.
All right.
And guess what happened? Here's Allison Hall.
It happens way too often. Mattresses flying off cars and trucks across America. When they're unsecured, they can turn into dangerous projectiles.
Oh, you just lost it!
And it just happened to them the day before their wedding. Alex and Lydia Kessinger were moving a king-size mattress to their home in Provo, Utah.
We were both like, oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea if, I could just hold down the mattress.
To keep it from flying away like this, the bride...
Wait, we both thought it was a good idea? Yeah. So he's dumb as a fucking box of rocks too. I'm glad that you two total, just shallow gene pool fucking numpties found each other. You deserve each other. You deserve each other.
They look like normal people. They don't look dumb. She kind of looks like Jennifer Lawrence. He's got dark hair, looks like kind of a normal guy. And they thought, to me, if you think about the physics of it, if you put the bed in the bottom of a pickup truck, you wouldn't think it would catch air because at least there's a gate around it. Yes, they're dumb. I wouldn't do it, but if I'm having to rationalize for them.
Sure, but it just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. And those people... Dumb.
He decided it made sense to lie on the mattress and weigh it down from the back of their pickup truck. Big mistake. So you thought you, a slim, beautiful young woman, would be able to hold it down?
She can't fucking believe it. She can't believe it. So you listen to the fucking disbelief. So you thought, hear the accusatory tone. You thought, sorry, I'm loving this. Please continue the interrogation.
Goes back far for you on this. There was some kind of thing where you as a child were made to lie in a mattress. There's something behind this because you're having a very big reaction to it, which is kind of fun.
So you thought you, a slim, beautiful young woman, would be able to hold it down?
No, we weren't thinking. That's the thing. We didn't think anything, because if we thought for 2 seconds, then we wouldn't have done it.
Alex was driving and Lydia was in the rear of the pickup laying on the mattress. They say they were going 50 miles an hour when the mattress blew away and Lydia flew with it.
I just remember like the feeling of like the mattress just like going in the air, and I was like, I'm flying, like what is happening? I just remember like screaming.
She suffered severe road rash burns, chipped teeth, and bruises all over. And remember, she was getting married the next day.
I like felt the top of my teeth. I was like, something feels weird. And I like turned to him and I was like, are my teeth gone? And I like opened my mouth and his face was just like, oh my gosh. Literally the moment it happened, I was like, we're still getting married tomorrow. Like, even if my teeth are jacked up, we're still getting married.
An emergency visit to the dentist fixed her teeth, and she made it to the wedding all right, severely bruised and battered.
I feel like I was surprisingly very positive and I just felt a lot of love for Alex. I just felt like I don't care what I look like. I just wanted to marry him so bad that it didn't really matter.
Love conquers all.
So there you go. That's from Inside Edition. If that happens, what do you say to people at your wedding? How do you bring that up?
I mean, plot twist here. Alex's redeeming moment of self-awareness at the end. I was like, okay, slow clap, buddy. But here's the plot twist. He was trying to off her. He didn't want to get married. Let's stay tuned. Stay tuned for the follow-up story about how poor Lydia goes missing off a yacht in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean during their honeymoon through in terrible surf.
It's the new Scott Peterson case, that kind of thing. Sure.
Honestly. But I never wish harm to anybody, so I feel very sorry and I'm very happy for them. Can't wait for them to have children. That's so good for them.
They're going to have kids that are going to grow up to be kind of the same people, you think?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I didn't think as poorly of them as you did, but I see your points there. All right.
And you're like, what is it about this that I find so disturbing?
Yeah.
It's not just their safety. It's the safety of everybody around them. Have you ever seen something big fly out of the back of a car before on the freeway and smash something, or a loose wheel that kills somebody, or a beam that goes through somebody's windscreen, or all of these different things? That could kill lots of people. And 50 miles an hour is fast. We're not talking residential streets 25 or something back from the Home Depot that's a mile away. They went on the freeway. And could you imagine? It could have been so much worse. Could you imagine if she flew directly into the oncoming part? I'm just so glad that she's okay and that nobody died trying to avoid her.
She must have had one of those mattresses that kind of has the handles on it. Must have just had to grab on and whoa, and went for a ride. And there's the new ride at Disneyland. There's a new
ride at Disneyland. She must be really tall because I can't touch both sides of a mattress.
Well, they're a new couple, so it was probably just a full. It wasn't a queen or anything.
Even then.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a bobsled ride. So then you think her face is all busted up in road rash. Do you think there was any action on that honeymoon? Probably not.
Definitely there was.
You think?
Yeah.
Even with the face all, probably no oral, for sure.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
In my experience, most men would fuck anything, including a snake.
Well, yeah, he would, but she's injured.
As long as somebody else held the head. Yeah,
she's injured, and she's got road rash all over her face. And you hear all those stories about couples going, oh, we were so tired. It was just such a long day. All we did was pass out. Ugh. So, and that with road rash, you'd think maybe not.
I don't know, maybe. But I'll tell you this for nothing. She will definitely be sticking to the sheets. Have you ever had a really bad graze before? So when you get really bad grazes, you weeps.
Dry that way.
You dry that way with the sheets in the thing. It's bad.
It's like the worst kind of Band-Aid you could ever imagine being ripped off.
Literally removing layers of skin, like having the scabs ripped off. It's heinous.
Ow.
Yep. Gross.
Ouch. Oh, there's a thing coming up. Oh, we've got stuff to get to. In fact, where is that? I'll go to that right here. Okay. Being that you brought that up, I have this study that I've had sitting around for a couple weeks. Kind of odd. 1 in 8 adults are terrified of Steven Spielberg's iconic movie, E.T. Does that make any sense to you?
What?
Yeah. Results show that men are twice as likely to find E.T. scary, 17% compared to women, 9%. 1 in 8 people are terrified by E.T. Maybe, this is the only thing I came up with, it's a homophobic thing or a transphobic thing, because remember when E.T. was cross-dressing? Maybe people had a bad reaction to that, and they freaked out about that, and guys were having their gender issues challenged. Maybe that was the whole thing. That's the only thing I can think of when you say that people are terrified of E.T. And I have a scene here from the movie, and this is a moment of terror with E.T. So check this out. Drew Barrymore.
In the closet.
And that's not Drew Barrymore in the movie. That's actually just her during her talk show. So, and then as I was listening to this clip, see if you can figure out what this is. I'd never noticed this before. I saw this movie when it came out, and I have grown in my musical knowledge. But see if you can figure out what song is being sung here. Never noticed this. He's walking into the house.
There are so many people to see. So many people you can check upon and add to your collection. People hanging on, nothing but hell shit. And add to your collection, but they keep you hanging on. Accidents will happen, but it's only hit and run.
Do you know the song? It's time for Name That Tune. Elvis Costello, Accidents Will Happen. What the hell? I never noticed that before. And then I wonder, did they have to pay royalties on that?
Ooh, it's a good question. I wonder. Interesting.
This came up in business news.
Business news.
Gen Z and job interviews. A resume templates survey, I think that's a website, found that 26% of Gen Z respondents actually involve their parents in their interview process. 31% of those respondents had a parent accompany them to an in-person interview, and 29% had them join in a virtual interview. Of those people, 37% said they actually had their mom or dad come into the office during the interview, and 26% said they had one of their parents physically sit in the room during the virtual interview. So if you break down the percentage, and then within that percentage, they break it down even a little bit more. So that's not as many as you would think. But who does this? Is this the next generation that we're raising of these snowflake assholes that are bringing their parents to a job interview? What the fuck?
That's weird. So, first of all, let's talk about how old Gen Z are and unpack it, because I can think of scenarios, right? Yeah. So, Gen Zs were born between 1997 and 2012, which in 2024 makes them either 12, between the ages of 12 and 27. So, here's situations where I can be like, that's above board, and I can applaud it. teenage babysitting jobs. I would have no problem with parents accompanying their teenager to somebody else's home and maybe dropping them off and maybe meeting the parents or something like that if they're going to do that kind of job. But anybody who is out of university, I mean, sure, practice the interview with your parents. Maybe get them to give you a lift. They should not be setting foot virtually or otherwise in or around any of your business. That, unless you're not okay, unless you have a physical disability, at which point and you need a carer or someone to help with you, go for it. Above board, yes, accessibility for the win. But anything else, fuck no. If somebody showed up to an interview with their mum or dad, it would be a very short interview, as far as I'm concerned.
That's my question that I had to pose to you, because I am involved in interviewing, and I know you are. And I would just have to say, you know, I don't think it's going to work out. This position requires a certain level of responsibility and self-assuredness, and we don't find that with people that bring their parents to the job interview. I'm sorry. And people might get upset, but there's nothing illegal in that still, I don't think, is there? I've had to take all kinds of courses to make sure I don't commit job violence in my home when I work remotely, and I've had that going on, but I don't think you can get in trouble for saying that to somebody.
No, I think it's, if you are interviewing for a job, you are interviewing for the position.
Right.
And I'm only hiring one person. Why are there two of you? If it takes two of you, I'm looking for somebody who doesn't need another person to help them do the job. If you need another person to help you do the job, you're not qualified for this job.
Right. And I might even say, if you want to get a job and get something respectable, you might want to consider not having your parents at the job interview, just because I feel like that's appropriate. And somebody really needs to say to them, what the fuck are you doing? Because it's bizarre and strange.
Well, and in some way too, I'm like, let's look at the parents in this. What sort of a fuckwit is going, this is a good idea? Who is enabling that sort of behavior? If my child asked me to do that, I would refuse. And I would tell them all of the reasons why. That no, we're not doing that. That's ridiculous.
To me, this next generation of those kids coming up, it seems like, at least from what I can perceive, the majority of that generation has had their parents constantly hugging them and holding their hand through their entire life. And there's been no challenges. And it's the helicopter parent thing that you hear about. And if it's gone that far, we're screwed, because this is the next generation that is going to be completely incapable of taking care of us.
So true. And there's an interesting book out, and I can't remember the name of the author, but I believe the book is called The Anxious Generation. And one of the interesting points in that book, and you raise it about these helicopter gentle parent people, right? The irony is they're all over their children like white on rice. Don't let them take risks or do anything, but they allow them unfettered access to the fucking internet. They are on devices 24/7 looking at donkey porn and beheading videos. So it's like this really weird situation where they've been exposed to all sorts of insanity from a very young age. They have no means of processing it, and they still can't buy themselves a sandwich at the deli.
Yeah, it's because they have no challenges, and their parents so care and love them that they are of the generation that they're going to take care of everything, that they have no challenges and have not learned the skills to conquer anything. And I think that's where we are. It's that cliche thing that I say, hey, everybody gets a trophy. There should be no culture anywhere of everybody gets a trophy. That trophy ought to be something that is earned, and it ought to mean something, so that when you work for it and you get there and you get that trophy, literal or symbolic, it feels good and it means something and it has a sense of satisfaction.
Absolutely. Everyone isn't the best. And it's something that you need to learn just as a human.
And even if you're not the best at that thing, chances are you're the best at something. So go find that thing. And in the meantime, you can at least be respectable and face the challenges in these other things too.
Yeah. And maybe you're not the best at anything. So just be the best human that you can be.
Yep.
Yeah. It's outrageous. Be a positive contributor to society.
Yeah. At least be average and be able to get through life in a meaningful way. All right. I have a big surprise for you. Are you ready for a big surprise?
No.
The look on her face when I say that is like, oh, shit. Now what?
Surprises are not always great, but I can't wait.
This isn't a new thing where my stepdad was a murderer. I don't have cancer or nothing like that. This is a good surprise.
Okay, I could tell by the tone of your voice it wasn't going to be some sort of...
No, this is good because I haven't invited in the darkness. You know, that's not going to happen. This is YTOOC.
Please do tell me about YTOOC.
YTOOC is YouTube out of context. We have YouTube out of context. You mentioned it off the air a couple weeks ago, and I say that they're hard to find because they are. You have to find the right thing so it doesn't get given away too easily. And this is where you and the listeners have to guess what's going on in a YouTube video. These are clips that I've taken and edited to hide what's going on. And we'll see how we go here. There's 4 of them. The first one is very easy. I'll be surprised if you don't get this one right away. And she's really into it because she's making that hamster face. Here we go. This is the first YouTube out of context. YTOOC, what is happening in this video?
Now you want to fold the top down
origami.
To the bottom.
Close.
Now you want to fold it in half.
Oh, paper airplane.
Close.
To here. Okay, now open it back up. Now see a crease in the middle here. Now fold the top here to this crease. Now do the same thing with the other side.
I'll say that in your guesses, you're technically right. It's just not detailed enough.
Okay. Now you should see here. You can open it up and there's 2 flaps. Take one and fold it so it's touching here. And then do the same thing with the other sides. Then
it's something that you have done with your kid. You mentioned it to me, either us just talking or on the show.
Do the same thing with the back. Turn it around.
Oh, you said it was easy. It's not making like paper cranes. It's not origami.
It's both of those things. It's just a certain type.
It will look like if you fold it only to here.
I can give you one clue that's going to give it away, but I don't know.
I mean, I think I have failed. For the first time ever, I haven't gotten it.
You've gotten it. You just haven't gotten it in the particular way. That you've done this with your kids. This is something you would do in the rain.
Oh, it's the little paper boat.
Yeah, there you go. It's a paper boat. That's what that is.
Got it.
Let me just do the kid here so we have the reveal of what's going on there.
I'll be doing a video on how to make the paper boat.
All right. That's a cute kid making a paper boat. Here we go with more YTOOC, YouTube out of context. What is happening in this clip? Bad music, first off.
This next method is very popular with street performers because there are no angles that it doesn't work from. It looks great from all around. You might have even seen it on a popular television show. You might have even seen 2 performers doing this act together. But regardless, the method is always the same.
Juggling.
You'll notice that
No, good guess though.
Every scenario, there is something on the floor, whether it's a blanket or a rug, or as I mentioned earlier, sand from the beach.
Oh, is it when they're like pretending to balance and stand on something and there's nothing, like they're a street performer that's hovering in midair?
Yes, it is how magicians make things levitate.
Yes.
And that's how magicians levitate.
Oh, there you go. She's so excited. She's dancing. Oh.
Can't get a paper boat, but can sniff out levitation at 10 paces. I don't know what's happening there.
And I'm not trying to make excuses for you, but you kind of did get the paper boat. You just didn't say paper boat. because it is origami and all that kind of thing. Number 3.
We're going to take a measurement off our back wall to our closet bolts, and then off our side wall to the side of our. Next,
transforming either making a recording studio or an office out of a closet.
No.
Okay.
Unscrew the nuts on the and lift it off the. Wear gloves in case it cracks. Now loosen and remove the nuts holding the to the floor. I'm also going to remove the old closet bolts. Now our flange is still in good shape, but if yours is broken, you can pick up a repair kit to fix it.
There's a flange involved. There's screws. There's moving stuff around.
So I've built this model to show you a problem you might run into with a renovation. Now ideally, we want our flange a little higher than our finished floor. However...
You're not Googling, are you? You're not cheating, are you?
No.
I see you looking down.
Yeah, I'm texting my husband because he just got home and I wanted to say hello.
All right.
If you're adding new flooring, you might find that your flange is going to be too low. Now, they make a number of products.
He's adding in a drain underneath a cabinet in a bathroom.
No, but you're on the right track.
Adding plumbing or adding a sink, something to do with flooring.
To bring your flange up to the proper...
Toilet.
Yes.
Yeah.
How to install a toilet.
How to install a toilet. Gosh, I don't know why I didn't get that first, idiot.
Because you don't think of toilets necessarily.
Yeah.
All right, here's the final one. This one is really easy. I'll be really surprised if you don't get this one.
Bollywood. Some sort of time-lapse video of somebody doing something.
You're not getting this, really?
Yeah, no, it's some sort of time-lapse of somebody doing something like digging a hole and, they're building something at time-lapse.
That was a joke because then you're like, I'm not hearing anything. They're not saying anything. How am I supposed to get it? And it's all a visual thing where they have subtitles. That was actually how to build a robot spider. So if you want to build a robot spider, they were telling you how to do it right there.
Amazing. Well, I got that. They're building something.
Yep. Pretty good.
Great. That was fun.
Yeah. All right. Really quick, just end of show thing that I like to bring up from time to time. These are weird facts from Facebook. Think about this. In 2015, 2 daycare employees in New Jersey were imprisoned for running a toddler fight club. Among a dozen boys and girls ages 4 to 6. So somebody thought of that and thought it would be a good idea. And I just want to see the news footage. If there is news footage of it, that's something I want to find. That's very fun.
Yeah, it was a big deal at the time. It's insane. It's insane.
So you remember when this happened? See, I don't remember this at all. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting to me. There are so many people who work with children who just should not work with children. Right. People get done for abusing the tiniest kids all the time. And it's so sad.
Do you even need a license? I would think you need a license to take care of kids. It must be easy then to get a license if that's the case.
Well, it's not. And so a lot of these people work for licensed establishments, and you have to have a background check, and you're supposed to be certified and all those types of things. But it's easier than you might think to get hired. They have a hard time getting staff at daycare facilities because it's really hard work.
Well, your husband just got home, and I have to pee, so we could end the show there if you like.
Awesome. I also need to pee.
When he walks in, do you say, how did the drug run and go? Because he takes so many trips and he's a drug runner. Do you ask how that went? Did you have to, duck behind walls and stuff to hide from the cartel? Do you have those conversations?
Not really. We don't talk about the work too much.
The better, less you know, the better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, everybody have a good week. It's been fun. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Threads. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.